We're with Coach Gundy as we get ready for a Friday night showdown with the Kansas State Wildcats, and you're coming off a bye week. You've had bye weeks early in the season before. You had one last year, as a matter of fact, but was the bye week any different this year because you have so many new players that haven't played together before? Any additional benefit? Is it different? What's that been like?
We had the luxury of practicing against each other, which I enjoyed, so we can continue to develop some new guys, and we can practice hard. We practiced 4 days. I thought that we got better as a group. I was thrilled that the players' competitiveness and their excitement about practice was there. Gave me a chance to watch the video the following day with all the staff, offense, defense, and myself, so we could critique each other and coach. And really, it was a fun time. And we've done it up through this week. A lot of meeting time, chances to watch each other, and what can we do to get better on both sides of the ball.
You know, one thing it looks like you've done a lot, even going into this season, is working your starters against your starters, et cetera, which really has not been common, if I remember correctly, in previous years.
We've had some carryover the last few weeks with Iowa State and Kansas State being more of an odd man front like we are. That allows us to practice against each other. In my opinion, it's really the best way to practice. Sometimes we don't have that luxury with two completely different concepts. In playing Kansas State, it's a little different when we go to team scouts, but especially in the open week, we're able to go good on good to try to get the speed of the game.
You had your two biggest plays from scrimmage of the season against Iowa State, the long run, 71 yards by Ollie Gordon, and a 60-yard touchdown pass to Jaden Nixon. How do you continue to enhance your ability to hit big plays? What has to happen for those big plays to happen more often?
Our offense was balanced in that game more so than ever until, the end of the third quarter. Our history has always been, if we're balanced, we have the ability to make big plays. Now, you could go back 6-8 years ago when teams were playing different style of defenses, and they were more vulnerable to big plays than they are now. You're seeing more of the 3-down stuff. You're seeing more of a safety in the middle of the field, even if it's a 4-down. So you're not getting as many big plays. But for us, we have to stay balanced and be able to run the ball effectively to allow us to get the ball thrown down the field.
Is that where the power run game comes in handy? And when I say that, you think about gap scheme, that's where the home runs occur. I mean, that's where you typically see the big plays in the running game. Is that one way that sort of helps force that balance, for lack of a better description? Because when you're running those types of schemes, you can hit those home runs.
It gives us a chance to force safeties to come help in the running game. Some of the angles and counters and different things where you have pullers, safeties have to support in the running game, and safeties are also responsible for a lot of the deep throws. So those two tie in together.
You were telling me at the radio show earlier this week about the challenges of getting Brennan Presley the ball because he's a receiver. Mm-hmm. How creative can you be in trying to find ways to get the football in his hands?
Well, we need to be more creative than we have been. Again, defense can take a receiver out of the game if they want to. Now, that should make them one man short in the running game, and in most cases is going to put them on some type of zone or man-to-man backside that's 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. But overall, we have to be creative in trying to find ways to move him around to get him the ball. But it's not the easiest thing to do. A defense can track him. So I don't feel like that they'll try to take him away. I don't think he's been dangerous enough to make him say we need to take him away. So it should help us get the ball to him some in the upcoming game.
Kansas State has put up some very good offensive numbers. What makes them difficult to stop, and what are the keys to getting them stopped? Because they have some really unique personnel.
Well, about 75% of what they're doing, they've done the last few years. But their quarterback is matured and he has a lot of experience now. In my opinion, they've evolved their offense based on his maturity and understanding. So they were more of a power team with play action. Now they have that side of it, and then they'll do some stuff out of some spread sets, because it looks like to me they have a lot of confidence in him and his ability to make plays. That's what's made him more difficult to defend now, in my opinion, is the development and the experience the quarterback has acquired over the last however many years he's been there, which has been a long time.
Sure. Defensively, their numbers historically have been good. They're good again. But at the end of the day, do you have to find a way to rush the football
Sure.
at least to some degree against them?
Yeah, we need to run. It's 4.0. When you get up around 4.5 per carry, you're doing really well. It's not necessarily 150 yards based on how they play us. It's 4 yards a carry on times that we feel like we can run the ball, depending on how they defend us, is way more important. To go in a game and say we need to rush for 200 yards, and if they overload the box, we're not going to rush for 200 yards. So we have to stay balanced in our attack, but we also want to be able to stay right around that 4 yards a carry.
What's Your Beef is brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. And I was thinking about this, talking about roster construction, but you were a big advocate of the December signing period, and now we have it. Has it had the impact that you hoped it would have? And then now, of course, we're playing a different game because of the portal. What are your thoughts on that?
From the high school perspective, yes. I would like to see a July 1 signing period for high school. There's so many players committed. There's not a reason why you shouldn't go ahead and sign them. You save money. Coaches are still having to babysit them, for lack of a better term, fly out there to see them. The early December signing period has helped because that takes the players we have committed and puts them on our team, and that allows us to do other things in January recruiting. But the portal's thrown a wrench in all that. Now we're trying to decipher through portal, transfers, early signing, late signing, so there's a lot going on right now. But to answer your original question, I'm good with the early signing in December. I think it's been good for college football.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.